I'm keeping it.
Welcome to the MMA Roadshow, episode 992. I guess we have to keep it at this point. We're not the editing type. Good Lord. Well, my name is John Morgan. Cold Coffee is with me. And if that open wasn't enough to explain to you how ridiculously sick I am right now, let me just say how ridiculously sick I am right now. Very, very frustrating. Funny Cold Coffee because, of course, we were in Las Vegas, our home for UFC 207, the big fight week to end the year. And it was funny because I had sent out a tweet earlier in the week saying, you know, we talked to the board of directors, we spoke with the shareholders, and we're going to do this thing a day early because, you know, we always do Thursday night, coming out Friday morning, but this is a special week. The fights are on Friday, and I thought, man, to coincide, we should move it up a day. And I had every damn intention to do it, and just got sick as hell yesterday.
Yeah, you looked rough, and it's funny. Old Agent H was like, John seemed off tonight. She's like, until I heard that he was like sick. She's like, now I get it, because when she came in, she's like, he just looked like he wasn't in good sorts or whatever. And I was like,
man.
well, plus he was, you know, thick in an edit as well and trying to get all the stories. People don't realize that, you know, I probably have the worst like resting bitch face or whatever it is.
You
when
do.
Like if I'm thick in edits and I got like 3 or 4 more to go, and somebody walks up and looks at me, I have to be the god-awfulest thing to look at. So I assumed when she saw that, she was like, oh, you're just catching, you know, like, she's getting used to it. You know, when she sees it happen more and more, especially when we work from the house, I think nothing really surprises her.
Man.
But
I was bummed. I wanted to knock it out last night, and so we'd have it up for this morning, you know, give everybody kind of a buffer day to go through it, because we're going to do and a half tomorrow night. You have to. It's a Ronda Rousey fight. It's the end of the year.
Do we?
You do. You have to.
Well, I mean, with all the stuff she's given us this week, so I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. We have this whole episode dedicated
Just
to
all
the
kinds of
quotes
audio
that she gave to Ronda Rousey. She gave to the media. In fact, let's play those quotes right now.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah, no, it's
Good
funny.
stuff.
It's
Good
funny
stuff.
because I was going to say, you know, I guess it kind of worked out for the best, because I'll be honest with you, until the weigh-ins today, it didn't really feel like a Ronda Rousey fight. You know what I mean? It was she shut out the media, and you know, we kind of talked about this a little bit last week, or I did at least, about, you know, her media ban. It didn't really necessarily upset me. I think it's well within her right to do it, and I think in some ways there's something pretty cool about the fact that she doesn't want to talk to anybody. She's saying, I'm focused on this fight and nothing else, and I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of become the story, right? I mean, that's part of the shtick of this fight week, right? But it didn't necessarily feel like a fight week, and especially not a Ronda Rousey fight week. Now, we'll talk about the morning weigh-ins in just a second. But honestly, I think the moment is set in for me that this is a Ronda Rousey fight was the evening weigh-ins that we just finished up with, the ceremonial weigh-ins. Yeah. Man, I kind of thought they weren't going to get that many people in. That place was pretty full. Now, it was not Upper Bowl, but
it wasn't even the back bowl, though, like behind us.
But you had to have a couple thousand.
Probably.
A couple thousand.
Yeah, maybe.
And we were sitting. I was sitting. Of course, you were back on the stage shooting from the riser that was shaking.
It was certainly no Connor.
It was definitely not Connor.
You know, so we could squash that at least for whatever. She didn't help fight that case right there. I mean, like a Connor one, the Irish one show up. I mean, I think the people showed up for Ronda, but it was a total different feel than the last time we've been in a big arena. You know, with Connor and those guys fighting. I mean, just madness. And I think part of that is the crowd, but also. She didn't help herself, not really pushing it out. So, like, you're right. It did feel like a Ronda fight week finally, but I think we also missed out on the cool open workouts when she gets in there and just throws down and does her big workout, and everybody absolutely loves it. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't have to do it, and I totally get it. You know, it's not for us. I mean, her main thing is to fight, you know, and she's done promotion or whatever, but it just, I don't know, just this whole – just vibe that she gave off all week, just like a spoiled brat.
All right, well, let's go through the week then. All right, let's start out with Ultimate Media Day. So Ultimate Media Day, we knew that Ronda wasn't going to be there. We got the media schedule last Friday. We knew she wasn't going to be there. But, man, I thought it was the weirdest media day ever. First of all, the UFC did something a little bit different. They brought out the prelim fighters first. We had scrums. Mm-hmm. That was cool. And then they did the face-offs. And then after the face-offs, they were going to have Dominic Cruz and Cody Garbrandt as individual sessions, which, to be honest, I'm kind of cool with that.
It wasn't bad.
I mean,
it certainly could have helped, though. I mean, like the fact that we didn't have the main event.
But we didn't get the face-off either. We didn't even get the Garbrandt-Cruz face-off.
I just throw it in with the rest of the stuff. I mean,
the whole I thought the media day was just a disaster.
Weird. It was crazy. And then the fact that, I mean, I appreciate that the Dana thing. I mean, and he even admitted that the fact that since Ronda wasn't doing stuff, they had to throw out something. Lene pushed that, so good on her to kind of, as one of her first act as the new VP of PR to kind of say that we need to do something. Like we're not hitting maybe numbers or whatever they're even trying to look at. Maybe it wasn't trending as much and hitting what they wanted to hit.
They're like, we heard Cold Coffee's in a bad mood. So they're like, we better switch this up.
Well, I appreciate them for doing that. Even though I would have suggested better than saying, all right, hey, we're done with the face-offs. Every media person just run to the front and create that giant storm of a scrum, but whatever.
By the way, just 24 hours after, we should say, Dana White canceled on our interview again.
Yes, again.
Now, I think you and I
now
both,
he's probably like, guys, you just had a chance to talk to me. What else is there to say?
I think you and I both expected this one to be rescheduled. We were like, dude, UFC 207 fight week. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate they're still trying, and I have every hope in the world that it's actually going to happen, and I believe it's going to happen. And I think they were trying. They probably thought, hey, this would be a great, let's do it.
They did come up and apologize to me.
They
did
but
come up and apologize.
It was to have it this week because I'm sure they have their hands and they're probably hearing things. Who knows? I mean, like, I don't know what the tickets are like. I haven't heard anything, but
almost sold out.
There's not as much buzz around this week as there should be.
My mom bought a ticket, and I honestly, for those that don't know, my mom flew into town to hang out in Las Vegas, see me for the holidays. In fact, we didn't even we didn't even set the scene, by the way. I mean, we're here at Boomers. So we brought my mom to Boomers. I mean, the dive bar, the hole in the wall place to be. We brought her and she's fit in nicely, by the way. She's up there playing some poker, some blackjack, doing her thing over there, and like it. But I'll say this: so I brought her in, and I thought honestly, I was like, you know what, man, I bet it doesn't sell that well, and I bet they'll hand out some tickets like they do. Not the case. It's almost sold out, and so she bought a ticket to get in.
That's good to hear. And I know it's a big week. It's Ronda. Just I don't know. I miss the craziness of like the Conor fight weeks, the Ronda fight weeks, where it was just like the madness. They come out, everybody, all the fans love them. They do the open workouts, they do all that stuff, and I feel we just didn't get it. And it's almost like she's trying to just prove a point of, you can't talk to me, you can't touch me. She walked in the wrong door to come do the early weigh-ins in the morning.
We'll get to that in a second.
I mean, I love
let's get
Ronda.
to it now. Early weigh-ins. I'm sorry. Today was the first day that I was annoyed with her. I'm not going to lie. Today was the first day I was annoyed with her. Early weigh-ins, so it was 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific. Cold Coffee and I always get there at least an hour early because we know exactly. Yeah, we know exactly where we want to be. It's a small room. There's not very many places to go, so we get there at least an hour early. Today we even did a little extra, a little more than an hour early. We got set up, and Ronda comes in before the thing has even started. Comes in the side door.
Yeah.
Okay, you're supposed to come in the back. You're supposed to go through your paperwork, go through your medicals, check in with UFC staff, check in with the commission. She walks in the side door. I don't know this for a fact, but I can safely guarantee she was not the first fighter to show up. Like, there had to be people in the back
there
already.
Were people in the back.
And she just walked by them, comes in the side door, immediately starts to take her clothes off, gets on the scale, or starts walking towards the scale, and everybody had to say, hang on, there's no commission here. Like, you can't step on the scale, no commission, because we're not ready to start yet.
Yeah.
So they go back and get her, or get the commission, I should say. So we tell the commission, hey, we need you because Ronda's ready. Ronda gets on the scale. Bob Bennett is in front of the scale, 135. And before he can move out of the way so we can get our pictures, she's off the scale. Now, if you've ever watched these official weigh-in streams early in the morning, you'll hear the lovely voice of Heidi Dean saying 5 seconds, stare at the camera, because the UFC records that. They want 5 seconds of flexing. Ronda was out, and you could see everybody dart back to go ask her, like, hey, we need you so we can get our tape. And she was like,
said no.
Done. I'm out.
Yeah.
And I got to say, and I'm not not one to criticize, man. The microscope that she's under, I cannot imagine the pressure. So I'm not trying to talk shit here, but today was the first day where I felt like it crossed the line a little bit, where it was just like, hey, listen, every person in this room right here, and there was the most cameras we've ever seen at an early weigh-in.
Yeah.
Every single person in there is here for one reason, to get that shot that you didn't allow happen.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's the UFC that's asking you to come back and step on the scale, not us. I get you don't want to talk to the media, but this is your employer. And so I will today for the first time where I was just like, how do you break every rule in the book and just not care?
Yeah.
And again, I've been a huge fan of Ronda Rousey. Got lucky enough to call a few of her fights when she was an amateur. Saw her come up. Have enjoyed the interviews. Have enjoyed watching her impact. I talk about the open workouts we've gone to where you see moms, soccer moms and their daughters show up, and it's so cool to see. My own mom sat here on the MMA Roadshow one time and talked about how she saw Ronda as a little bit of a role model and influence. But that whole scenario, that whole situation this morning, I got to say, man, and maybe it's because I'm sick and I'm tired and I'm achy or whatever, but it hit me wrong.
No, I mean, I think you're completely right. It threw everybody off. I mean, for her to not even, I don't know, I was a little put off as well. And like I said, when it kind of got this whole spoiled brat thing, just vibe going off or whatever, the fact that, granted there was media in there calling her name as well, she probably didn't hear as much as some of the UFC staff, but for them to call her name, her not even to like hesitate and stop and even take a look back and say anything, she just kind of walked out and pouted out, and then to go in the back and say whatever that she did, I don't know. It looked like it was a rough cut. She looked rough this morning. So maybe there was something in that too. Like she wasn't feeling well. Last thing she wants to do is try to pose. I mean, but even you had like Lewis Holocaust Smoka go up there, and he looked as
he looked
rough.
bad today.
I almost
he literally looked like a zombie.
I did not want to put his picture out because I figured somebody's going to talk shit.
I felt
and
bad,
and
too.
I like Lewis, so when I say that, I say it with the best.
Oh, because he's a great dude, but the picture's bad, dude. Like,
he's a great dude.
I feel the same way.
He looked so
really
rough, like he was hurting so bad. He looked a lot better. I did though after the fact, after his opponent lost weight so bad, so bad,
30% of his purse,
so bad. As we were going downstairs when I was transferring over to go work before I went over to T-Mobile, Lewis is coming back up the stairs. So he had no real time to really hydrate.
Right.
He was smiling, and he looked a
already
lot
better.
He looked already immensely better. So, that fact, knowing that you already got some easy money, can apparently
just
shakes off all that, I haven't eaten and drank in days look. But as for Ronda, I mean, I want to keep pulling for her. You want to keep doing whatever. But, when she's not helping, you want to like her. I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking, like, for fans.
The personal relation.
When you want to see it, you want to do whatever. I mean, that we have to do what we have to do, and we're going to still shoot the other fighters. I mean, it's funny when you look at half the media that left after Ronda.
Oh, yeah.
We're in it for the long haul, and it's not just Ronda. I'm not just there to watch Ronda. I'm there to watch everybody that, from the Tim Means that starting the fight card at the end of the night or at the beginning of the night, who came there, whatever. I mean, we're there for everybody, so we'll stick all the way through it. So the fact that somebody wants to come at the very beginning and just kind of keep continuing this tantrum, it seems like a fucking tantrum. Like she's pissed off at everybody. Like, I mean, she's doing meetings, she's doing everything. She's going out and doing stuff. She's going to all the places that they're just softballing it. She's going to Ellen. She's going to Conan. You think they're going to ever say anything? So of course she's going to do that. It's going to give her a wide breadth of of fans, and people are going to be able to reach, huge reach. So I get it. So in her mind, she's like, I've done my media, I've done whatever. But now it seems in her head that she thinks that now she doesn't have to answer the tough questions. Yeah. And they're putting the kid gloves on her, and they're saying, okay, it's good, it's fine, Ronda. We'll let it go. Even though Dana tried to say once, I'm going to give it once. Maybe because he knows that there's not going to be a second time. Maybe he's got a little more keyed into whatever. But I like Ronda a lot, but she makes it tough to watch what she's doing this week because I hate reading the fan reactions and people just saying, this girl, blah, 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 dropping F-bombs or whatever. I think most of us, if we didn't have the respect for her, it would be easy to fall in that category.
But all the things that Dana was saying were so true. She's done so much for the company. She's done so much media. She's been a pioneer. She's been an innovator. So she deserves that respect.
Everybody's, true. Everybody's. But, she did pioneer. She did help break a lot of boundaries. But those same things that she did helped her get what she has now in Hollywood, all the other shit. It all paid off.
Right.
It's not like she just did it solely to promote her fights. It helped build her brand. So you can't take back the fact that what she did helped her become what she is now.
Right.
So the fact that we helped build you up, now you want to turn your back on everybody that yeah, might have tough questions for you. I mean, that's the name of the game. People love you when you're on top.
Mm-hmm.
People find some reason to hate you when you're down, and even when you're still on top, people want to find a reason to hate on you just
Yes, they
for the
do.
fact because you're doing so well, But it just, I feel like it is a fight week. It is what it is, but it just doesn't feel the same thing, and it's because they're doing so much stuff to accommodate Ronda that we're not having the fact that we didn't even have the main event at the media day. We didn't even have an open workout for this event. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like those are two. Well,
Nothing
we had
for
the media
fans
day,
to go. Yeah, but the media day
Nothing for
wasn't even
fans.
open to the fans.
right? And then
I had somebody
literally-
hit me up on Twitter. It was like, "Hey, I'm flying in town.
Yeah.
What's on the schedule so I can go and enjoy myself?"
Right.
I'm like,
And did you see this? It was like literally 10 feet of space for fans today for the early weigh-ins.
"Oh yeah,
Where I think a lot of people really want to see. So it's like, all right, if you consider that is one fan event that they could go to,
And
nobody
there's
really
no
could go.
space.
There was no after a certain point, they just shut the door. It was done, And so then you have today, and then she doesn't even do her fucking interview after her thing
you
with
knew
Joe.
that was coming though.
I,
You knew
I,
she
I,
wasn't."
But I mean, he's going to throw softball. He asked one question. It's not like he has. That's about as softball as it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a UFC staffer asking, "What do you think about your opponent? Are you excited for this fight? How do you feel?"
Yeah,
It's
not
a fucking
it's not,
softball.
It's not like Joe Rogan's gonna be like, "Hey, the last time we saw you, you were face down on the canvas.
Yeah.
Your
Tell me how you
undefeated
felt."
record.
Yeah.
What was it like when we heard you were in the fetal position in the back of the?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do
Like,
you still smell Holly Holmes'
oh,
foot?
You're so wrong. You're so wrong. Yeah, I don't know, man. And dude, listen, man. If she goes in and wins, at UFC 207, if she goes in and, I'm sure all will be forgotten. But I'm telling you, I think if she loses
Will
this
it?
fight, I think, well, maybe not all will be forgotten. But I'll say this: if she loses this fight, I think the fans that turned on her the first time, which it was the fans, not the media. Damn it, I'm tired of that whole
Yeah.
thing. I think it's going to be really bad.
Well, I mean, that's why it just makes me think that she's not in it for the long haul. She wanted to come back and take a stab at it, and I'd be really, really surprised. Or what is she going to do? I mean, if she thinks, I mean, she makes it seem like she wants to do it, but she doesn't want to deal with the media. She doesn't want to do anything. I'd be surprised if she did get it, if she fights more than once a year. It'd probably be once a year type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she just doesn't want to deal with this anymore. And if this is what it is, and Dana says, well, I agreed to it for this, but no more anymore, and she can't deal with it right now, I mean, I just
right?
don't
Like,
see it.
let's
I
say
just
she comes
don't
back,
see
we're
it.
still going to have to ask her about Holly Holm next time, right? Since we never got the
Yeah.
answer the first time.
I just think it just seems to me it's more of a one and done, and this is just like she wants to get through it and be done with it, and she just doesn't.
Doesn't want to go out like she went out.
I think she has everything in it when it comes to training and disciplining herself and becoming the best that she can be.
Right.
All about it. But as for being able to be in the game to still have to do this other stuff, play the media, do the fan things, help grow the sport, help do whatever. I just don't think she has her heart in it anymore.
Right.
It's about testing herself, which I appreciate, and I appreciate that. She's pushing herself. There's still something about that whole martial arts mentality. She's going out there, mano-a-mano, fighter against fighter, doing it. It's a wonderful thing. But as for
Oh, you're getting sick now.
what the fuck, dude? It's like transferring through your headphone over here.
Welcome. I need a cough button. So
Just
bad.
just doing the other stuff. If she can't do it to this degree in this one, where you're the headliner and UFC's gonna, it just doesn't seem her heart's fully in it from what it needs to be.
I honestly feel like we have so many questions. I don't know if I can think of a main event that had more question marks around it. Where literally, if you're breaking down this fight, I think you're just guessing, because I don't think all those things that you just said. I think you're dead right. We don't know where her head's at. It looks right. It looks right. I think.
Well,
she looks in good shape.
Well, when we saw last time when it happened, she did the same sort of thing, got a little testy, then they gave her a mic, and she stumbled all over. And as soon as I heard what she said, I was like, she's not fucking right.
It's true.
The best thing, I guess, in that sense right now is that don't put her on the fucking mic, and then we can't tell. It all still sounds fine. But I had a feeling just last time, I was like, there's something wrong. Something's not right, and it could have been just me looking more into something that didn't really occur. But then when
I think we had that feeling.
We had that feeling. I think a lot of people did.
I didn't change my pick, but I had that feeling because I know we all went back to the apartment after the weigh-ins and we're like, dude, like something's off.
not right.
Like it started for me. It started when her mom didn't make the trip down to Australia, and I was like, that's weird.
But now it's like, how can we not say the same thing? Because she won't talk to anybody. It's like, how can you? I mean, even looking at her team, I was trying to look at fucking Dolce's face and trying to read him.
Right.
Everybody just seemed like not in the best of sorts. Not in the best of, like, just weird. Like they're all walking on fucking eggshells. And then there it is in the morning. Everybody's constantly walking on eggshells because they don't know when some fucking mental moment's going to happen or something. And that's what happened in the last weigh-in. So, I don't know. I hope the best for her. I wanted to go in there and have a fight. I mean, I just have to think her mind's not – I don't want to say fully there because I think in her mind she believes she is there 100%.
Yeah,
I think she's fully there, trained, and she's believing it or whatever. But
that's the exciting part about this, man. About 24 hours from now, we're going to know. All right, I want to talk about Amanda Nunes real quick.
Yeah, what about that fucking lion head?
All right, well, let's start with media day. We can talk about the lion head in a second. Well, okay, let's start with the face-off. I feel like Amanda missed a couple of opportunities today because when she came out with the lion head, of course, her nickname is the Lioness.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, kind of cool, but kind of weird, but all right. And then I guess it wouldn't make sense because you want to get your face seen a little bit.
Yeah,
but
they probably would have got maybe a little pissy if she tried to wear it because
I kind of thought she was going to
just did it.
I kind of thought she should go to the face-off like that. Like I kind of thought it was one of the things like, you know what? Fuck you. You won't show your face anywhere. I'm not showing my face anywhere. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I thought in my head. Like she's gonna go into the face-off with this damn lion head on and be like, you won't face me. I'm not facing you either. You can look at the lion head. You know what I mean? So like,
true. But what if she couldn't really see all that well of it, and then
the
something started
stage
popping off? Something started going off, and then she's like, yeah, I ended up taking that one hit because I had that stupid fucking lion head on. But I thought that was interesting. But I was thinking, like, here they probably fucking snuck that one up there, too, because I'm thinking, like, normally there was a point when Love Bird to death, that stuff wouldn't have flied.
Yeah.
They would never seen it. So every time I see something come out like that, I'm like,
they wouldn't let Honey Jason wear his little hockey mask, dude.
Yeah.
It's a Jason mask. Like, dude, it's not even like a big prop. It's a little tiny prop.
And maybe with, like, Goyito wearing the
Lucha Libre mask.
The Lucha Libre, maybe that started to help change some things where they finally just were like, do we really care? Maybe not as much. I mean, they don't want to have somebody come in.
Was that a Reebok lion head?
Yeah. I mean, they don't want to come in and have, like, oh, those Reebok sheets where the guy put the fucking Ku Klux Klan hat on? That was really awesome. Thank goodness you wore Reebok. So, I mean, at some point, they know they're going to probably have to pull back. But right now, I think they're allowing it. So I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was the most intimidating-looking lion. It was kind of a weird-looking one.
A cowardly lion?
Yeah, kind of like thin and emaciated lion. But
all right, well, props to her for at least doing something.
No, I loved it. She's got character, man. She's got pizzazz. And, I mean, she's
looks
been
in
happy
great shape, man.
all week. She's been smiling. She's looked good, and she looked big compared to Ronda. And maybe it's because of the fact that maybe she hydrated better. She had a better, just coming back process after. But she didn't look bad at the weigh-in either. Like she didn't look sunken in. Like Ronda looked a lot more depleted than Amanda did. But I don't know. It could have been that she also looked like because she was pouting or whatever she was doing. Tell me she didn't look like she was pouting a little bit. Like you made me go back in the back. I was ready to weigh in, and you made me go back in the back. Like F you.
Yeah, she did.
Know?
She did.
So.
All right, well, here's where I think Amanda really missed the ball. But here's why I know if you heard anything or not. Because Amanda did not come to the media day. Now, we knew Ronda wasn't going to come to the media day, right? Because she wasn't coming to the media day, obviously it would not be fair of the UFC to say, hey, Amanda, we need you to show up to the media day, even Ronda's not going to. So she was not told to go to the media day. But I honestly believe that she should have gone. Yeah. She should have just showed up. Dude, she would have been the star of the party. You know what I mean? Like all the media would have been around her. She would have been able to throw out a couple questions. I did see a couple of interviews, I guess, where she said she was actually kind of relieved to not have to do it because she's still learning English as her second language, and so the scrum interviews are kind of hard for her, which I totally get. You know what I mean? I speak a little bit of Spanish, but not much, and I have to have a few frosty beverages before it starts flowing.
Yeah.
So I get it, but. Two things. I think if she would have showed up and just spoken for a few minutes, I think it would have been awesome.
Yep.
And I really think the money thing was, Ronda Rousey has been using the hashtag Fear the Return, I think if Amanda would have showed up and been like, fear the return, the only one that's apparently fearing the return is you because I don't see you anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, oh,
But
snap.
I thought it'd be even better
Snap.
if she would have been like, I'm here doing stuff. She's just a do-nothing bitch sitting back in her hotel room. That would have been awesome.
Dude, so if she would have dropped those 2 lines, money. And then the other thing is that had she, and again, the UFC would have had to allow this, but you can't tell me the UFC wouldn't allow this. I mean, well, maybe you can because, I mean, they do love Ronda and they do try to protect her, I think, to some degree. But can you imagine if Amanda got up, when they did the face-offs, if Amanda got up, threw her belt on her shoulder, walked up on the stage, and kind of gave a look like she's looking around, like where's her opponent, palm in the air. You're telling me that video wouldn't be the viral video that's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, where everybody's like, oh, F Ronda Rousey, she wouldn't even show up. And, again, I know the UFC doesn't want to make her look bad. They don't want to make Ronda look bad, so maybe they wouldn't have liked that. But it would have to mean more pay-per-view sales. It would have to mean more interest in the fight. But here's what I do wonder.
Certainly a lot more
I do wonder if they
social
told
media stuff.
Oh yeah, I do wonder if they told Amanda she couldn't go, because if you go back to that scrum and you can see the entire 30-minute scrum on the MMA Junkie YouTube page, Dana is asked pretty directly about that. Like, did you, why is she not here? Was she not? I think that it was even. Dude, I was so far in the back because I couldn't even get up there. It was like, did you not allow her to go? I mean, I think it was directly asked like that, and he answered around it where it's like, well, this is something kind of special and unique. You know what I mean? And I think it's very possible that maybe she wanted to go and they told her no.
Yeah, makes sense. I could totally get that. I thought it was odd that they didn't even have the co-main event there. The fact you didn't have Dom and Cody, maybe the fact that they took them off made it easier for them to not have a main event person there. Because then
True.
Then they're like, oh well, no, we're not going to have the main or the co-main event. You guys aren't attending at all, so don't even try to come.
Right.
If you come, we're not going to let you in the building.
Right.
I just. But you're right. I mean,
what great video would that be? Amanda Nunes is like trying to check in at PR to get into the open workouts. They won't let her.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That'd be a certainly a black eye on the organization.
Well, I gotta say, I am pumped about this fight. I went with my staff pick. We got to get you on the staff picks next year. We're starting a new year.
Should, man.
Let's get you on the staff
I won
picks.
my fantasy football league this year.
What does that have to do with picking fights?
Because it means I'm good.
We got to get you on that. I picked Ronda Rousey, and I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there right now.
You're just trying to get an interview with me.
You're
like Rhonda.
Rhonda, I
picked you.
I had your
back.
back.
I picked you because she's gonna be like, John, I read your shit. You didn't pick me.
I can guarantee
F you.
She has never read anything I've written. Yeah, you know what? It's an emotional play, I think, more than anything. I think she is focused. I think she is dialed in. I think she does look good. I think this means everything in the world for her. I think she's going to shine in one night. And I think she had a really shitty night in November, man. I think she's still a really good athlete, man. It's not like she was going out there and edging out people, man. She was going out there and smoking people.
Yeah.
But I will say this too, man. Amanda Nunes can crack, dude. Like, when she was punching Miesha Tate at UFC 200, I was like feeling bad for Miesha. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh my God. Like, it was painful to see it. She can crack. And, God bless Holly Holm, but Holly Holm's not a knockout artist. Amanda Nunes is a knockout artist. Holly Holm is a great striker.
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes is a knockout artist. And, man, it could go really bad, man. It's going to go one of two ways.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And if I had to go on a pick, I would go opposite.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I think you're right. I think Ronda has every intention to win and is going to go out there trying to win and believe she is all there and has done the work. I wholeheartedly believe that she's done everything in her mind to get her to that point. I just feel still when we go back to the fact Amanda is fighting the best that she has fought in a long time. Ronda still, as well, she's been out of the game for a while. I think Amanda hits harder than Ronda. I think if Amanda knows how to do like what Holly did when Holly and them kind of opened up the game plan and how to stay away from those points where Ronda gets a hold and does the control and can somehow use her judo. If she can stay away from that point, Amanda, in my mind, has all the pluses to dominate this fight. Mm-hmm. Does it happen? Who knows? Because we've thought this before that, she's went in there, she's going to go with strong strikers. Oh, Zingano's going to come in there and just punch her once and it's going to be done. Or she's going to charge in there and then Ronda gets a hold of her and it's done. I mean, you can't – when somebody reaches the level of what Ronda is, she's a freak of nature when it comes to that thing. If she gets a hold, it's game over. I still believe that, and I think anybody that thinks that she still doesn't have that crazy armbar power where somehow it doesn't matter what position she's in, somehow she works it into an armbar or some sort of move, But I just think Holly and them opened up. They opened up the game plan. They got the cards. So Ronda's cards are laid out there.
I agree.
I don't think her striking has changed all that much in this time. I don't think she's gained power that she didn't have before. I think she has cardio for days, and that's never been an issue. But I think Amanda is just stronger, and I think if she can keep herself distance and work the distance, and starts hammering a couple shots on Ronda, she's gonna batter her up a little bit, and Ronda's she's gonna slow down. And then we might see the same stuff where we saw with Holly, where she started making lunges to try to grab on things, and it got sloppy and just really kind of. At that point, it just seemed done before it was done.
Oh yeah, that moment where she hit a knee and then ran to the fence.
Yeah, ran into the fence.
Everybody in the building knew this is over.
Whoa, this is not good. But I don't want to just take it and just say that it's the fact that Ronda's been out of the game. That Amanda's she's dominating right now. She's fighting the best she's fought with her power and with the right team. And I mean, she just looks so comfortable right now.
Oh, she does.
She looks so good right now. She's so at ease that. I don't sense one bit of nervousness in her.
No,
and that's got to be dangerous 100%. For anybody across the octagon.
It's real confidence. I always say you can tell when people are kind of trying to hype themselves up, or when they actually believe it. She actually believes it. One last thing on this fight. It really will have probably very little bearing whatsoever on the fight itself, but I always enjoy Anderson Silva was one that was big to me, and now Ronda Rousey. Seeing a champion who has dominated for so long have to walk in first and have to kill that time in the cage while the champion walk is, a good 3.5, 4 minute walk. And, that champion, that former champion is used to coming into the cage. I'm in. Let's get this party started. Let's go. And now you've got that 3.5, 4.5 minutes where you got to pace a little bit. You got to let the moment sink in. She'll be on the corner right in front of us on press row, probably scowling at us, flipping us off or whatever. So
they'll probably switch it this time around. They're like, we're going to do it differently, guys.
So I don't know. It's just a fun little psychological thing that I always like to see is how does that person kill that time? You know what I mean?
And they never show that stuff. So, I mean, I guess that's a reward for those of you that are actually getting the tickets, in the building, because they never show that stuff, very rarely.
All right, let's talk about the co-main event because at this point, until today, and even still today, maybe a little bit, Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt was feeling like the main event.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, not in terms of status, in terms of casual fan and this sort of thing, but man, the heat between these two has continued to build.
Yeah,
and it's real, which is great because I know like when people have these made-up rivalries, it's just like it's so annoying. But these two dudes literally hate each other. I know you and I have both talked to both guys off the record where there's no camera around, there's no recorder on, and they say the same shit. They're still talking trash. They hate the guy. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be great. But, a good rivalry between two people who talk trash is kind of fun. But when it's between two great fighters like this, that's their styles. The way their styles match up is so fun. I mean, Dominic Cruz, this master of movement, this master of rhythm, in and out, chasing you all over, making you miss, coming back and counterpunching, versus Cody Garbrandt, whose hand speed is just incredible. If you have not seen it firsthand, it's stellar, dude. It's the power of his shots, the accuracy of his shots, and the speed of his shots. Dude, it is something to behold. And man, I'm pumped about this fight, man. I love this fight. I guess I'll just throw it out on the table first so we can talk about it. I picked Dominic Cruz just because Dominic Cruz is Dominic Cruz, man.
I don't hate that.
Dude is one of the top pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. Many have entered. Not many have been able to figure him out. He is something special. But I got to be honest with you, dude. I think Cody Garbrandt has as good a chance as anybody who's ever stepped in with Dominic Cruz because that dude lands flush, you're done. Yeah.
And you're right. It's tough. It's tough. You know me. When it comes to an Ohio guy. Ohio. When it comes to me, like, it's tough for me to pick against guys, so I'll stick with that, and I won't pick against the guy. But also, you're right. Dom looked thick. Dom looked really big. today, and he looked better,
Yeah.
I think, than I think we've ever seen him. And
I
there
agree.
was a focus when he got on this, even in the official weigh-ins. When you looked at his face, when you looked in his eyes, there was something there that is scary. And Dom, when he came back from such a huge, long break and injury, and just thoroughly just dominated dudes, like the Dominator.
Wow.
That should be like his nickname.
You should
or
go with
something.
that. I'll let you recommend that one to him, man. That's all you, man.
It doesn't bode well
But
for
he should
somebody
use
when
like
he
an
goes
8
in there.
like dominate. And just make it
Dominate.
8.
Yeah. When he goes in there like that, I mean, I would typically think that he's going to take anybody. But you're right. Cody has such fast hands, and he's strong. But what the thing that helps Dom is that Dom never stays stationary.
Right.
You got to be stationary for those hands to really
True.
tee off like he needs to. So he'd almost need to stun Dom, and then be able to work his speed. Because if he doesn't watch out, he's a strong guy, but he puts a lot in his punches. And if you're punching a lot and missing, he's going to wear his arms
Over
out,
25 minutes, because Dominic Cruz is not going to slow down for 25
never
minutes.
Stops.
Never.
And my fear is that Cody's going to expel a lot of force and energy just chasing Dom.
Right.
Dom's not just going to come walk into the center of the octagon and try to do it. He's going to try to do that weird little side step to each direction and throw those weird angled punches.
By the way, I should make sure the listeners know both of us are actually doing
a little
Dominic
sway,
Cruz
little
movements
sway
right now.
Thing here.
I mean, we both look pretty much just like him. So
Yeah.
there's probably people in the bar right
I have
now.
a scraggly beard like he does. Mine's a little bit more scragglier than his, but I don't hate on picking Dom by any means, because my head is telling me Dom, by looking as good as he did and having that rangy movement that a lot of guys have a problem doing, it gives him the edge. My heart is telling me I want Cody, one, because he's an Ohioan,
Of course.
but two, he's a really, really nice dude, and it'd be nice to see Alpha Male get a win. They've had some I don't want to say rough times.
Some
because
close calls.
still,
I mean, dude, they're
they've had
elite
close
level.
calls.
They're elite level, and they just don't quite get to the top. I mean, Joseph Benavidez, dude. If Demetrius Johnson chose to, I don't know, whatever he could possibly do for a living other than fight, you know what I mean? Joseph Benavidez would be considered the greatest flyweight of all time.
Yeah.
But he can't get over that hump. Uriah Faber, look at all he did and just came up short.
Yep.
I mean, both great fighters,
Yep.
and you're right. This will be a big one for that team.
It would
question.
It would be huge for that team, especially the fact of what he's done to members of that team. I think that would be a huge boost for that team. But he has his hands full. As much as Cody is strong, Dom can take a punch as well. So the thing is, I mean, I have no doubt that Cody's going to land 1 or 2 good shots on Dom, but you need to land 8 or 10 or more on Dom, because they never really get a full. Most fighters aren't getting a full punch on Dom.
Well, yeah, because
they're getting
he's
a
rolling
glancing
with
blow.
it. He's pulling back.
So they're not doing as much damage, but they're still expending as much energy to throw the punch.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them could probably keep themselves throwing that large punch if they're getting the benefits of a nice solid hit. I think a guy, even if they're just completely spent, but they're getting that good solid hit on them, and they're seeing they're doing damage, they're going to will themselves to keep doing it.
All right,
but if you keep missing, that's got to be tough to keep throwing it.
I want to ask you about that. Okay, this morning, we should say the championship fighters both all weighed in very early. Of course, Ronda Rousey went first because she came there early and got there first in line. And
she wasn't going to be second. You're either first or you're last. You're either first or you're last, and Ronda's number 1. Damn it.
After that, the rest of the championship fighters came in very early, and Cody Garbrandt got done. As soon as Cody Garbrandt got done, Dominic Cruz was actually next. And as Dominic Cruz was coming in, we heard some people basically fall into the wall is what it sounded like. There was a scuffle outside. Should say, I guess, that the initial reports was that it was Cody Garbrandt and Dominic Cruz. It was not.
Yeah.
It was Cody Garbrandt and Jeremy Stevens. Ali Abdelaziz,
which is just weird.
who was Cody Garbrandt's manager, actually came in, later and explained kind of what happened. He said that basically tensions. Jeremy Stevens, Dominic Cruz teammate, talking trash. They're
I was gonna
they're
say,
getting
where the
into
fuck
it.
was Jeremy Stevens? I haven't even seen him this week.
Yeah, no, he's hyping up his boy,
I
So
suppose
they kind of got into it, and
He's
then
out there. Where's Clay Guida? Where's
Yeah,
Clay
right?
Guida? Damn it, I'm here in town. I was hoping Clay Guida.
Let's get that fight.
I don't know
done.
where that fucking
That
accent
was
came
not-
from.
That was not
That
Jeremy
is not
Stevens.
Jeremy Stevens.
I don't even know who that was.
I'm channeling your mom over here. That was my
A
Texas
little bit of that
twang, but
country
yeah.
twang.
But
But
yeah,
they got
what
into
the
it.
fuck? It's
Blows
so
weren't
random.
thrown. From what I understand is Ali grabbed, I think he said he grabbed Jeremy Stevens and actually walked him away, like just picked him up and carried him away. But Cody Garbrandt did get his neck scratched up a little bit by Jeremy Stevens. Like I guess the nails kind of scratched him. I guess he grabbed it for his neck. So tension. But I say all that to say, what do you think about Cody Garbrandt's head? Because I've seen this a lot where people are saying, listen, Dominic Cruz is a masterful trash talker, right? Like he's the best in the game, like subtle but on point. You know what I mean? Like not crazy trash talk, but just kind of intelligent the way he handles it. And I've heard a lot of people say that like Dominic is in Cody's head, and how is Cody going to be able to keep his head straight? Because when you're fighting Dominic Cruz, you're trying to figure out a puzzle, right? You know what I mean? I don't think it can be just sheer aggression. I think it has to be timing. It has to be rhythm. It has to be all those things. You got to figure out that puzzle. But I also see the flip side in talking as we were in Sacramento a couple weeks back. We got to talk to some of Garbrandt's coaches, and we got to see his final sparring session and all that. And a lot of them say that Cody actually responds better when he's pissed off, when he's like in a bad mood, because it like that sheer aggression kind of gets amped up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on the fence right now, knowing that I already laid out picking Dominic Cruz. But now I'm kind of trying to see, how does this thing play out? Like, is he really in Cody's head, or is that just going to make Cody respond better?
See, I don't know. I in talking with him and as we've seen him, I believe that he's pissed. I believe that they have anger towards each other, or they just don't dislike. But the thing is, I don't think he's emotional about it, and I think that's where fighters go overboard and they get out of themselves and they do something. They end up getting a mistake. I hope he's not. At least when I've seen, I don't think he's that emotional where he's going to just lose his training, lose his game plan, lose his thought, and just like, I have to knock this guy's head off. I don't think it's there. I think right now there's still a lot of gamesmanship happening, trying to get in each other's head or whatever. But I think when we get in there, I know Dom, he doesn't get emotional about shit.
Right.
And that's when I think one of the best things about Dom is that he could talk one hell of a game. When he gets in there, it's just another win.
Laugh afterwards.
Just another win. It's just another person he has to go through, and I absolutely think that's amazing, and it shows why he's able to keep that even keel, and somehow he brings it out of his people. But I think Cody hopefully has learned and seen other people sort of fall through it. So I'm hoping he's just sort of just playing it like he is and maybe giving that thought. So hopefully maybe Dom maybe thinks that he's emotional and he thinks he's going to overstep something. But I just don't feel it. I don't read it yet. When we read it, when we interviewed him and we talked with him, yeah, he's quick to say, Dom, this, but he also was respectful to a degree as well.
He did.
And I think if a guy can still be respectful and talk shit and talk whatever,
That's a great point.
he's not emotional
Still
about
recognizing the weapons across the table.
I think he's not there yet. He might, if anything, look like it, but I don't think he's there yet. And even when that shit happened today, I mean, that shit just happens. I mean, I'm like, where the fuck were the alpha male boys that jump in on Stevens? Like, how did shit even get to the point where you got to your boy? Your boy's in fight. Y'all didn't go after, like Dom? Like, what the fuck?
I know.
Where's your boys at? Where you at, alpha male? But whatever. But no, just to go back that I don't think he's got it to the point where Cody's emotional and he's going to do something crazy. I think he probably hates the guy because he has a little grudge. But, again, it's the same thing. They could go out there and just throw hands and just knock the crap out of each other. I guarantee there could be a moment at the end that they won't hug, but there'll be respect.
Yeah.
Because I think it's still there.
At least that little eye glance,
that little nod, to tell them we're doing that as well.
We did the nod.
We did the
nod.
We did the nod thing here. So, and that bodes well for Cody. But yeah, I mean, if I had to pick, I'm Team Cody. I'm Team Buckeye.
Shocker.
Cody, Buckeye love, Garbrandt.
Shocker. Last thing, I don't know if you watched the Embedded series or not, but man, Cody did that thing again where he puts the balloon in his nose. First of all, I should say that the place that he did it is
That's my boy.
It's on Warm Springs, just east of Durango, which is just down the street from Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, literally like
But you know
like
who
a
that
block
is? That's
away.
my boy.
Was that your boy that
Yeah,
did it?
he's the same guy that did me. That's my buddy I went to high school with.
Almost died
Should I
there.
get one of those balloons?
Dude, I could use one of those balloons. Yeah, you had that done.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a guy
By that dude.
about to fight for the championship, and he's like, that shit hurt.
It does, but it's like a quick little pressure. I forget what the procedure is. You guys could look it up, or you maybe already did, where they
That's what
stick
I
this
told my
little
wife
balloon
the
in there.
first time we were together. It's just a quick little pressure.
Just a quick, just the tip, babe. Just the tip of it goes in, and then they blow it
Wow,
up.
you went way too far.
As your mom's
I was
sitting
trying to
right
be subtle
next.
and just drop a little.
Just the tip went in, and then there was
wow,
Eli.
Wow.
But no, it's like extreme pressure for a quick little moment. They stick this balloon up in your nose, and it has like one of those like little squeezy things that pushes air, and it just goes. They go pump, 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 and the balloon expands, and so it goes through into the back of like your nasal cavity, so it opens up. So if you have deviated septums and all this stuff, instead of like going to get surgery, it's a non-surgical procedure that can help clear up that sort of stuff. And literally, right immediately after it's done, you're like, I can breathe so good. It's amazing. You're
crazy.
supposed to do it a few times in,
But you were
in
like,
each
"One,
nostril
and I'm done."
before. No, I just haven't got over to talking about it. We could probably go over and do shots. I'd be like, dude, break out one of the balloons, and he would do it.
What?
Which is probably not the best thing.
No, not at all.
But I would rather that as opposed to like getting an adjustment. Like, dude, can you work an adjustment on my arm? I know we've been doing shots of tequila. Can you like tweak my back, my spine?
Oh, no,
I would rather
no.
do the nose thing because I know what it does. It's just
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
a balloon in your nose, which is we did worse when we were kids, you know. But
Maybe we should just bring a bottle of tequila over there one day, do a couple shots, and see what it's all about.
you should do it. I bet you would dig it. I mean,
Oh.
I bet you've ever had to check to see if you had like a deviated septum?
Oh, I know
or
I do.
anything?
I can't breathe through my nose
Dude,
at
it's
all.
like literally, it's non-surgical and it's like super quick. And the procedure, they do it in each nose. And I think he said something like it takes 2 or 3 times to make it stick or whatever. But it's like just dealing with the pressure. It's like oh my god, and then they like let the air out, and you're like, oh thank God. But then you're like, wow, and it's immediate, just like that.
Part of me thinks I should make a bet that if Cody Garbrandt wins, I should go do it. You know what I mean? And then part of me thinks that like, nah, that's scary as hell. I shouldn't do it.
You should still do it. Yeah, but I dig it. But yeah, you should do it though. But no, that's my boy I went to high school with. That's my buddy, Dr. Petrick. He's the dude, man. He's the dude. It's funny, man. Like he helps out a lot of the guys that do like the tough show. And when Brock came, he worked on Brock and with a bunch of other guys. Like he's legit, man. Las Vegas Pain Relief Center.
So he does. So he's a chiropractor, but that's
It's
just.
not. They don't
it's
call
not
it
a
like
chiropractor?
active release therapy and some other little stuff.
I go to some places that have active release therapy.
The happy ending. You want more? But no, they call that procedure. But he does the active. Because I said the chiropractic thing before, and he's like, no, that's not what I do. But that's what it looks like
Right.
to me. But I know a lot of guys when they're sore and they have illness, he can literally find spots in your body that you're overcorrecting to all this other stuff and find how it's affected whatever. And like, oh, even though it's your shoulder acting up, it's actually because this, and this over here in another part of your body are all whatever out of whack. And they'll do his mojo and put your leg like this and yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. And it's almost like, I always picture it like, say your chakras, everybody get all metaphysical
my
and shit.
goodness.
Like, oh, your chakras over here, and like you hit a pressure point. It almost like, to me, it feels like it combines like some Eastern medicines and what other stuff where they do acupuncture and all that
Yeah.
shit. Like, oh, you hit this pressure point, and all of a sudden your nose clears out, and you're like,
Right,
whoa,
right.
I'm gonna grab your toe, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, my headache's gone. Like, how does that work? You know, it's the same sort of thing with this. They'll find where you have these problems in your body where it needs healing or whatever, and they'll find that because of that, this is affected and this affected, and they'll do their whammy thing. And I know I'm making it I'm totally bastardizing like what they do. It's really, really impressive what he does. But it's Las Vegas Pain Relief Center.
Maybe we should have your boy on one time. And,
Dude, he's smart
talk
as
to
shit.
him and
Yeah,
then-
he's smart
and
as
do
shit.
it.
Like, well, actually, one of these days we can go to his place and have some drinks or something, some cocktails or something.
I love that we could go to a doctor's office and have drinks.
Well, no, not to his office, to his house.
Oh,
we
I thought you were like, we
could
can just roll into the Las Vegas pain and relief
no.
center and be like, bro, you want to relieve some pain? Here's some tequila, my friend.
Yeah. No, that's not what I'm saying. But no, we'd like to kick it. I'll introduce you to him. I mean, he's legit. But yeah, I'd love to have him on because he loves talking about. He's actually a really good dude. Not that I'm trying to turn the show into
Commercial for the Las Vegas pain and relief.
But he besides that, he also has a Kismet Foundation. Keep it simple or smart and fun or whatever. He helps a lot of people that are challenged, have mental handicaps and other little things, and he gets them out and they do camping trips and all this other stuff. The dude's like such a good human being. So I love the fact that his business side is doing well and he's doing a lot of stuff with the fighters and stuff.
That's cool.
But I think this pain relief center is expanding. I think they're about to do some shit in China because China recognizes like what these guys are doing. That's why I think it's like part of this like Eastern medicine things that they're doing. The way that this active release therapy and this other stuff works. Like they're like, dude, we get it. We've been doing this shit for years on acupuncture, blah blah blah. So I think eventually his shit's going to blow up. It's going to be huge. But that's why I think it's really cool and key to that I see all these fighters who are at the top of their game, they're going to him and they're going there to get these things. So I'm like, if it works for top-level athletes and they go in there and get procedures before they go in probably one of the toughest, most grueling physical activities, there's probably something to it.
Surely it could get us ready for a hard night of drinking.
Right? So, yeah. Sorry. So there's my plug for Dr. Patrick and Las Vegas Pain Relief Center.
All right. We'll have to work that in. In 2017, we'll make that happen. All right. Listen, TJ Dillashaw, John Lineker, that's going to be a great fight, man. I think that's a number 1 contender fight. I love that fight. It's kind of a little bit of a version of Cruz and Garbrandt in a way. You know what I mean? You've got the guy that's really solid in his movement, and then John Lineker, of course, the power puncher as well. You mentioned earlier Louis Smolka did not look particularly great when he was on the scale, but I just want to touch briefly on Johnny Hendricks versus Neil Magny. All right, here's another guy, Johnny Hendricks. I love me some Johnny Hendricks, man.
How can you not?
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, John? You know what I'm saying?
Literally lives down the street from my dad. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Literally lives down the street from my dad. Another round of Frosty
from Tammy at the wonderful Boomers.
Gotta go to Boomers, man. Lives down the street from my dad, so I mean he's a Texas boy just like me. I know he's actually an Oklahoma boy, but he lives in Texas now. And a good dude, man. He lived in Vegas for a long time, and man, long-time listeners of MMA Junkie Radio will know he used to come in all the time. Like back in his WEC days, he would come in and co-host the show for 2 hours. Used to call him the Baconator, which sounds horrible now, but he has a huge penchant for fast food. He loves it. He was open. He admitted that. All those things, man.
We've taken that nickname from him.
Yes.
Actually, they call me the 20-pack McNuggets, but it's not a catchy nickname.
That's great. You're going to keep that one.
I'm totally not going to keep that.
Oh, yeah, cold coffee. That's outdated.
Actually, don't even like McNuggets.
Here's 20-pack chicken McNuggets. No, but all right. So Johnny Hendricks missed weight again. Surely, I'm sure some people have seen the videos. We didn't get to talk to him at the Ultimate Media Day because as we were going through the rotation, every time we looked over there, he actually left for a while and walked away. So we didn't get to talk to him. But here's the thing: the guy missed weight again. It's a problem, and his alternative at this point is moving up to 185 pounds, where he will be grossly undersized at 185 pounds. Now, maybe it'll work out. Daniel Cormier ain't exactly a big heavyweight. You know, he's competing at light heavyweight now, but he was having some success at heavyweight. You know, picked up the Grand Prix win. So Hendricks, probably his only alternative right now is to go to 185. But I guess what bugged me today, again, and maybe this is all about perceptions, and maybe this is about unwritten rules, and maybe this is me just being an asshole wanting people to do things I want them done. But if you come in and you're overweight and there's 20 minutes left to cut and you don't take your shorts off and you have a beard that you can shave and you have hair that you can shave, I just feel like you should go through the motions and show I did everything possible.
Yeah.
I shaved my beard. I took my shorts off. I went that extra 20 minutes.
At least the shorts. At least the shorts. We saw some other guys, they shed. We've seen half a pound easy. I mean, would that cover the, 2.5 pounds that he was over?
Probably not.
I mean, I don't think the beard would have done that as well.
It's a pretty strong beard.
I mean, it's a strong beard, but, that's probably ounces, in all actuality. But the fact that he could have tried the shorts, You never know. I mean, if he was sweating, maybe they were really heavy. Maybe we could have got. I mean, nobody's really looking at the scale. Maybe
A strong
maybe
poop,
could
maybe?
have got
A strong poop?
a strong little. But he was pushing it. The fact that he wasn't far from the end of it, so I think he tried. But the fact that he didn't do his shorts was either the fact that he wasn't confident that even if he did that, it would do anything.
I don't want to listen. It's not like I'm sitting here with my 20-ounce glass of Pabst Blue Ribbon and my fat beer belly right here and talking. I mean, I'm not trying to question Johnny Hendricks' desire as a fighter or his motivation. I'm not trying to say any of that, but I don't know, man. I just feel like there's kind of like little unwritten rules, little things you can do to just like, listen, man. There's a difference between really pushing till the very end and maybe giving up a little early.
Yeah.
Maybe giving up a little early.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if we had a chance to chat with him at media day, we could have found where he was at, and maybe he would have been honest and let us know or something. But that's some of the stuff that really UFC's been trying to crack down on that. I don't know what I'd be interested to try to figure out or find out what he came in at the beginning of fight week. I mean, how far off was he? You know, they're supposed to come in at a certain rate, away from that it didn't send any flags. You know, nobody was raising any points about it for him to still be 2.5 pounds over.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because you know what? It reminds me of something.
Huh.
I found out recently that Cyborg, at her last fight,
Yeah.
where everybody talked about the huge, 24-pound weight cut, she checked in with the staff on the ground at 156.
Really?
Yeah. It's not that far off.
Yeah.
She said it was 24 pounds on fight week. It wasn't as much. It was 16 pounds. So I don't know. I just caught. It's funny that you said that because I heard that the other day and I was like, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, just throwing that out there.
But yeah, I mean, but that seems like something that I wonder if we could ever, if the UFC, because I don't think they make a point to release that
they
stuff.
don't. I wish
it would
they
be
would.
interesting to see if we could find out somehow what it was. But you know, he says all the right things. He does all. He seems like he's trying to do it, but yeah, it's just like.
Bummer,
I hate to think that he's not trying to really grind through the week, and maybe it's just a bad miscalculation, and maybe he doesn't have the right people that maybe normally being. I mean, he has. I think he's done the wrestling thing for so long.
He's a good dude.
He can cut.
He's got that wrestling mentality.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking maybe he thinks he can just cut it like he used to cut it, and now his body's not cutting it like he used to, and maybe he's just going about it wrong to where. Maybe he can, but I feel like we've had this discussion over and over, and they probably had the discussion over and over. Like, hey, we know what we did wrong on this one. Let's just tweak it for the next time, and then we run into the same situation. So, but you're right. If he goes up, he's gonna be short. He's got not a big reach. He will be undersized. He's still got power. I think his power will be there. If he's, it might even be, if anything, even stronger because he's not gonna really have to cut as much.
Yeah.
He might be a strong Hendricks.
We'll see.
And he's got a chin. We know he's got a chin. I don't know. Maybe it's the best thing for him, but
Man,
at this point,
be
it seems like it
tired.
needs to go
Can
that
you
way.
imagine him standing next to Chris Weidman?
True.
Oh my God.
I mean, is that
Luke
Weidman guy
Rockhold.
even good though?
Luke Rockhold.
Is he any good?
Decent. All right, couple of quick things. Man, two notable exits from the UFC. Goldie and Joe Silva. Crazy,
Yeah.
man. This is their last event. Of course, Joe Silva going out in a little bit more glorious fashion. How can you not respect a guy that cashes in and says, man, this is all the money I need. I love this, man. Thank you for the run, but I'm out. Peace. I'm going to go chase my dreams. You know, I've enjoyed what I've done. And I tweeted earlier, there was a picture. It was funny. Sean Shelby, Joe Silva, Dana White took a picture together. Elliot was actually taking the picture. It was on stage, and I snapped one as well. And I did tweet out, end of an era. And it really is end of an era, man. Joe Silva, dude, has been around since really all but the very beginning, man. The dude has been an integral part of the UFC's operations. And there's some people that aren't his biggest fan. There's fighters and managers that will tell you they hate dealing with the little guy because he is an angry little dude that loves to get into arguments and will stand firm in what he believes. But damn, dude, to see Joe Silva walking away is tough.
Yeah.
And Goldie as well, man. We kind of knew it was coming. We tried to confirm it.
That's been
We
a
couldn't
long
get it
time
confirmed.
coming.
It's been a long time coming. But here's the weird thing: is just that, man, I get the criticisms. I do, man. I totally understand it. But, dude, it's such a change. That's the voice, bro. That's the voice that we've been hearing for 20 years almost at this point.
Yeah.
That's a huge change.
It's true, but they've done a really good job of filtering a lot of other voices in. So right now, it's not like, I mean, you might run through a stretch of 3 or 4 events where you don't even hear them. You know, so I think they've done a pretty good job of sort of like easing that out, you know, a little bit. And it was partially probably those guys' own fault, you know, when they went through and they were trying to do their contract negotiations. I guarantee he was like, I just want to do this. I don't want to travel as much. I don't want to do this. And I guarantee that just opened up in a bad way.
Or it should have been like, just put me wherever, whenever, however.
Put me wherever you want. Put me whatever. I want to just keep working. I enjoy what I do. But, hey, let's maybe ramp up the amount I do, whatever. You know, let's get the dollar amount, but let's just keep doing it. And I guarantee he was probably like, I don't want to travel as much. And I understand he's been doing it for a long time. But even when I was still with the UFC, there were grumblings that it was done, that it was almost over. And they patched it up, and they made it work. And I think right now it just got to the point where they're just like, enough's enough. I think they went down the line probably like, dude works however many things. You know, we can't use him for any other thing. Now, I mean, if you can get rid of, you know, fucking Iceman and all these other guys who maybe don't mean as much in terms of like the production, the day-to-day production, whatever.
But are huge
parts of the company and the history of whatever. If they can get rid of that, Goldie and you know, and I hear he has his moments. I like the guy, Buckeye. But when it comes,
he was a Buckeye.
But when it comes to, but I mean, I heard the guy had his diva moments at time, and that's the kind of thing where it's one thing to be a diva and be a low-paid diva, and it's another thing to be a diva and be a high-paid diva, and then have somebody else come in and say, all right, let's look down the line items of what we have and what we want to pay for. And the fact they've been building up these other talent, they have such guys that do such a great job. Brian Stan, John Anik, all these cats that are just doing such a good job.
Got a crew of people that are coming in.
You don't need a diva anymore. And it sucks. And I think
probably the natural
that's the
progression.
It's the natural progression. That's it. People are going to be sad. People are going to be butt sore of it. Yeah. There's no getting around that. It's an end of an era, and the dude did a lot of great things. His voice is what I think most people recognize about it. But he's like me. I say a lot of stupid shit on the podcast. He says a lot of stupid shit I appreciate that. He says a lot of stupid shit on the broadcast sometimes, where he leaves people shaking their heads sometimes. And, you know, so I'm not surprised about it just for the fact that I heard grumblings years ago that it was going to happen.
All right, well, let me ask you this.
But about Silva, that is an end of the era. I kind of imagine the dude. I want him to, like, open up, like, a series of restaurants, maybe, like, an Italian joint or something, like a pizza joint, or like sandwiches, like Silva sandwiches or something. And I could just see him back there, like, just working out the best things, like where he scouted out the best meats to put in a sandwich. Joey
Knuckles Pizza Shop.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Do it. Joe Silva, start a little sandwich shop or pizza or an Italian joint or whatever. Or restaurants. That's what All
right, well, let me ask you about this. I want to touch on one thing with Goldie because I hear everything you're saying. Now, the guy's been nothing but class to me. He's always treated me with respect, and I appreciate that. I do think it will be kind of an end of an era with him as well, just because he's been that voice for so long. But you make a lot of great points. Here's the thing that scares me, is the two names that I keep hearing thrown about the most are Jim Rome and Mario Lopez.
Fuck
and
that.
Dude, all I can say is, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm down for them to be involved in some aspect or whatever, but they are not Goldie. If you're talking about, like, doing a voice promo for something that might go out on the air as a promo, sure. If Mario wants to do the fucking red carpet entrance of a fighter, sure, whatever.
That's
cheesy. Be cheesy as fuck, but you can't replace. They don't have. It'd be like a quick hit.
Yes.
Where it's like we all just want to take the amount of fans that they might have and hope that they immediately
we're gonna get a cool
over.
Little headline.
We're gonna get something.
Hollywood Reporter is gonna write about it or whatever.
But to hear that voice, whatever, throughout the fight, when they have guys that they've already been bringing up, I mean, I appreciate that. I don't want Anik to be away from his family nonstop and work every event, or Brian Stan or whatever. But Hardy's done a good job, and I think some of these other cats can make the transition.
Gooden
as well.
Hard, man.
Gooden's a fucking great dude. Put him in there. I don't think we need to bring in some weird X factor in a role like what Goldie's doing, because you already have guys that you build up. But if they want to involve them in some sort, sure. Like, even if you want to make Mario be the backstage interview guy, nobody wants to see it. But I mean, the thing is about him, I mean, he appreciated it. I know he's into martial arts. I know he likes that sort of thing. But how do you turn off? Like, he's been working all these things. I don't think it's ever stopped from Saved by the Bell.
To be
He's
the
been the
cheesy
same
Hollywood
character,
guy, right?
Yeah, and just super high energy, which could be great for a while, but people are going to burn out on that like super quick. So you have to find a way that you can use his energy, which is awesome, but in moderation. Find a best place, but you can't put that in the fight thing. You're gonna almost just take I don't want to say legitimacy away from
Right.
it, just because it'd be like saying, all right, yeah, we know CM Punk couldn't fight, but well, then we're gonna put him in a fight. No, that doesn't make sense. But I'm all about those guys bringing their name or whatever, but find a good thing. Don't try to force them, because they run the risk of it completely backfiring and people saying, you're just cheapening the sport just to get some quick clicks or whatever.
I agree. And listen, we don't have this confirmed. We haven't been able to confirm what the
But
plans
we've been hearing
are.
it. And we're hearing rumblings. I think I heard rumblings a little bit of Rome, but not so much. Lopez, I hear a lot more traction on that one than anything else. So,
All right.
but who knows what? But everything we say always happens, because Dana and those guys listen to our show.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So if I say, all right, hey, Dana, maybe just ease them into backstage interviews and red carpet arrivals.
Red carpet arrivals.
Red carpet arrivals for fight night. Like, they could actually open up the show, probably Mario standing outside of the venue, tossing back into the guys inside. I could see them open the show, Mario outside, talking to fans outside of the arena, opening up the show, then tossing it to the guys inside to do their thing.
I'm in the crowd. What did you think about Rousey's weigh-in performance?
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, in-crowd hits. I mean, that shit happens all over the place. Why not have it? But that's a good role. That role makes sense for me for a Lopez. And I mean, because you got to think they got to create something for him. They can't put him in one of the existing ones.
Nah.
It doesn't make sense. I think people would lash out. I mean, I would certainly rather see Heidi Androl or Megan Levy backstage doing interviews than Mario Lopez. No offense, Mario.
Yeah.
Stick to what you do.
I'm sure you're a cool cat, but nah, we're good. All right, well, listen, my coughing is probably annoying the hell out of everybody, and I can see by my mom's look over here. She's itching to gamble, so we probably need to wrap things up. So
Yes, we said we were only going to go like an hour, and it's already been just over an hour.
I was like, I've been counting the time, bro. What are you talking about? All right, well, listen, I apologize that I did get so sick and we ended up being a day later than we wanted to be, but still not late, still our normal time.
We should go through picks on just the main card. Let's do the main card picks.
Rousey.
Nunes.
Cruz.
Garbrandt.
Dillashaw.
Wow, I'm surprised on that. I think Dillashaw as well.
Yeah, I like Lineker a lot, obviously.
I love Lineker, and I think if Lineker can – if Dillashaw gets cocky and thinks he can stand right there in the middle, Lineker doesn't go down.
Oh, that's true.
That will be his downfall. He's got to stay moving. So if TJ keeps his head on his shoulders and doesn't get drawn into Lineker's fight, TJ all day. If he thinks he's going to stand with Lineker, he fucks up. It's Lineker's fight.
All right. I'm always in full support of the Dong.
You're all about Dong. I'll go Safadine on that one.
Wow, we're all over the board. And I got to go with Smolka. He'll call me out and yell at me if I don't.
Yeah, I like Smolka.
All right.
Even though Borg is Borg, yeah, he's a nice dude, but man, it sucks he didn't make weight. Just makes you think he's not there. Smolka. I love those fucking Hawaiians.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be that's a good main card, man.
It
is. It sucks that we don't have Kane and Verdum on there. That would have just set it up.
Even though we didn't, it's not main card, whatever. But what do you think is going to happen with that Magny and Hendricks?
I'm taking Magny, man. I'm
taking Magny as well.
I think, man, just him not making weight again. And then not only that, just seeing them stand next to each other.
Yeah.
Holy
Magny's
Christ,
a big
Magny's
dude.
huge.
Magny's a big boy. And it's funny, and if somebody actually watched our interview, which he maybe did, maybe didn't.
Probably should.
He actually talked about not taking that fight if he was overweight. And then there was all the question, I was even texting you, is he going to take the fight? Is he going to take the fight? And weren't quite sure. Sure enough, he took the fight. I mean, it's one, you want to fight. You want to get a chance to get in there and prove yourself, but it's nice getting that 20% right off the get-go.
Yes, it is.
So,
and I bet Hendricks has a pretty good contract, too. I didn't look up what he makes last time, but he's got the former champ deal.
I never even thought about that because they released that shit.
I bet 20% is a chunk of change. I didn't take the time to go look it up, but I bet that's a chunk of change.
So even if it was 50-50, say it was $50,000. That's 10 grand
Right off the bat.
right off the bat.
Nice.
That's good. I can see why I did it. So, all right, well, whatever. I know you're trying to wrap, but I figure we should start doing those now.
Picks?
Just start doing picks.
All right, I'm down.
Since
We're going
I
to put
can't-
you on the 2017 board. We're going to put you on the
Once
2017
we get on that,
board.
then I won't have to do it. But yeah, let's do it now. So, yeah.
All right,
Good shit.
let's go drink some frosty beverages, and provided that I don't die sometime between now and then, we'll come back and hit you with an and a half as we enjoy the holidays, wrap up the year, and then start looking to 2017. In the meantime, thanks for listening.